Hello everyone out there in YouTube land. My name is Will, this is Will of the Nerds, and we are back with another deck tech video. That was the wrong button. Let's come over here, let's do it there. And today we are doing a mono white life gain deck, and before I get started, I do hope that every one of you had a happy and fun, safe holiday, no matter what you celebrate. And I hope you have a safe new year, too. If you do plan on going out, please make sure you get a designated driver or you stay in. So, yeah, especially like around here, it's starting to snow, the roads are getting bad. Don't drink and drive. So please be safe if you're going to go out for New Year's. So, with that, we are going to jump in and do a new deck. And I'm going to apologize. Again, I'm still getting over being sick. So, my voice is still a little scratchy. Not as bad as it was. So, hopefully I won't have as many coughing fits. I'm going to try to edit out all my coughing the best I can. So, with that, let's jump into it. So we have a life gain deck. Yeah, we're just gonna do that. Of course, it's casual, as all of my decks are. And this is mono white, so nothing but plains. We do have a non-basic land in here. We'll go over that next. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 plains. So let's punch that in. And then we have a playset of Radiant Fountain, which I believe you gain a life at the beginning of each upkeep. And they are all from M15. So we're going to have to change the set to M15. And, oh, when it enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life. Boom. I'm thinking of the, there's one that's for angels. Whenever an angel enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. But, it comes in and you get 2 life. It's not the best, but it helps the life gain. There's a bunch of other lands you could use that give you life gain. You could play, green-white life gain. I just had more mono white life gain stuff, which is why this is just mono white. I know recently there's been a lot of a little more green stuff that helps you with life gain. Alright, so we are just going to... I'm going to pull the creatures first, since those were what was on top. And that way... Because I know I believe I have a playset of 1 creature in here. Maybe 2, and I don't want to miss them, so let's just separate all of them to start with. It might be, I can't remember if it's a playset, it could be 3 of, but we're just gonna do that real quick. I know I can some of these, I did get a newer card. If you did watch my live stream on Christmas Day for Magic the Gathering, there was a card I got that whenever I gain life, it gets a +1/+1. So, that might get thrown into this deck just to get rid of maybe some of the weaker cards in this deck, but we will see. Alright, we got everything separated. Now, the first thing we have in here is a Grace Pegasus for 2 of. It is just a 2-drop. It's basically in here to be just a quick card to get out from M15. Let's click on it. Well, I guess we're not going to change anything. But it's flying and lifelink. It gives you a nice flyer. Again, it has lifelink, but it's just a 2-drop, something to get out if you get it early on, to get you a blocker more than anything. It's not going to be that big. Obviously, it's not going to be that big blocker or gain you a lot of life. Alright, next we have Serf of the Dawn for 2 of, and I know it's not from that set, it's from the original Innistrad or Avacyn Restored. Avacyn Restored. Okay, flying and lifelink. It's a 4-drop. This one's not the best, but at the time, this was the only flyer I had with lifelink that wasn't in an angel deck, because I have all my better angels in my angel decks. I wasn't going to put one of my strong, powerful angels in this when Serf of the Dawn does a good enough job. All right, the next card, this one is a playset of. This is a heavy hitter. It's the heavy card for this. They are from M19, and that is Ajani's Pridemate. And it wouldn't be a life gain deck without Ajani's Pridemate. I think I have a time-shifted version of this that I do want to put in this deck, but the copies I have are from M19. So that's what we're going to put in. I do have one copy from M15, but we're just going to do M19 to save myself the trouble. Whenever you gain life, you put a +1/+1 counter on it, and chances are you're going to be gaining at least 1 life every turn. So if you get him out, he's going to be getting big probably pretty quickly, and it's whenever you gain life. So if you have 2 instances of gaining life, I believe it would trigger again. So if you have a card at the beginning of your upkeep, you gain life, he'll get a +1/+1 counter, and then later if you attack and you gain life with lifelink, he gets another one. And then if you have a sorcerer instant to play, it'll get another +1/+1. So I think it can go up to like 3 or 4 times in one turn that he's going to get a +1/+1. And this card is in here for, it's basically your game closer. Sunscorch Regent, which I'm surprised this card isn't as expensive as it should be. So I have 2 from, what is it, Dragons of Tarkir, and then 2 from the Commander set. So, is it Commander 2017? Okay, yeah, 2 from Commander 2017, and then 2 from the original set. Yeah, Dragons of Tarkir. Update. Okay, so it has flying, of course, because it's a dragon. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and you gain 1 life. This goes hand in hand with Ajani's Pridemate, so they're both going to get very big very quickly, because I play multiplayer. So playing multiplayer, sometimes my opponents are going to be casting more than 1 spell a turn, which means this thing's going to get at least a +2/+2, and then since I'm gaining a life, Ajani Pridemate is going to get big too. So now they have 2 things to worry about that are going to be big beaters. They could try to give it a bunch of -1/-1 counters, but unless they have just like a murder spell, it's going to be very hard to get rid of, and it can get very out of control very quickly. And it's a little nonsensical that it's a non-legendary creature, so if I have all 4 of these things out, chances are you're not going to have an answer for all 4 of them. And I can fly over and destroy anything you have, unless it has, like, obviously, unless it has Death Touch, which I can still probably hit you pretty good with Ajani's Pridemate, because you have to make a choice of which one you want to take care of. Next, we have Soulbender. He is just in here basically as Soul Mender. He's in here as just a 1-drop, just a cheap card to get out. I have him from M15, so let's change you. And when he comes out, you can tap him. You can't tap him right away, obviously, because Summoning Sickness, but tap and gain 1 life. So if your opponent isn't doing anything and he's just sitting there, you can tap him at the end of their turn and trigger Ajani's Pridemate, and then you gain 1 life. There's also ways that you could untap him and then tap him again and untap him, like kind of make an infinite combo kind of thing with it, I believe, that I've seen before. But he's just in there as a 1-drop to throw down, if anything, just to be a chump blocker, so you can get the rest of your stuff going and get that life gain engine moving. All right, next we have Life of Eternity. And these are from that set. The, what is this, Commander? Commander Legends, I believe is what that is, right? Okay. Its power and toughness are each equal to your life total, which could get very ridiculous very quickly. I never really looked at the Encore. I don't think I'd ever use the Encore. Exile this card from your graveyard for each opponent. Create a token copy that attacks that opponent this turn if able. They gain haste. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. Only cast as a sorcery. Okay, that's not terrible if you have nothing else to do. So yeah. That's basically, it's probably in there as like a last resort kind of thing. And it's a big beater. It doesn't gain you any life. So this might get switched out for a life gain creature, a big life gain creature. But that's still not bad. I kind of forgot about that card because I don't think I've ever played that card. And this is the last creature, Feldar Sovereign. And this is one reason why I had a life gain deck, because I had one of these cards. This wasn't in my life gain deck to start with, but it made its way in. Vigilance, lifelink. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 40 or more life, you win the game. There's been times where I've gotten 100 plus life with this deck. So I was like, yeah, Feldar Sovereign needs to be in this deck because it keeps the game from getting stretched out. When, like, I'm either going to deck out or I'm going to run you over with how much life I have. Or we're just going to sit here till one of us decks out because I'm just going to keep gaining life. It's gotten to that point before where I'm just going to keep gaining life, and it gets a little out of control. Okay, next we will do the instance, which I don't think there is a whole lot of. So let's get them out of the way. All right. Yeah, there's a few one-ofs in here. And really, I only have one of those. That's kind of surprising. Let's double check just to make sure. Okay, yeah, there is only a one of Angel's Mercy. I think I had more. I think I had two at one point, but I pulled it out for probably another creature card. So we'll throw that one in here. It is not that one, though. This is from Avacyn Restored. So let's throw that in there. You play it, and you gain 7 life. I think this might get switched out for Ritual of Rejuvenation, which is what I have. I think I wanted to put a playset of Congregate in here, but I didn't have a playset. So that's why there's just a singular Angel's Mercy in here. Okay, next we have Ritual of Rejuvenation for a playset of... Oh, never mind. I was wrong. I mislooked at it. We do have 2 of these, and we have 2 Ritual of Rejuvenations from this set, and you gain 4 life and draw a card. That's nice. Gaining the life obviously fits into the deck, but getting that card draw helps a lot. All right, and my favorite one out of all of these instants is Congregate. I did spell that right. Wow. We have 3 of those. Are they all from this set? No, they are from M14, so let's change that real quick. And target player gains 2 life for each creature on the battlefield, and it's obviously going to be me, and if somebody's playing a bunch of stuff, like token creation, yeah. My one friend has Sandworm Convergence, which, broken record, you've probably heard it before. So if he has a bunch of stuff out and I hold on to this long enough, then, yeah, I'm going to gain a bunch of life. And if he is tapped out, there's nothing he can do about it, and I'm going to gain a bunch of life. Alright, we have some enchantments to do next. So let's do those. A couple enchantment creatures, and then just 2 of enchantments. So we have Daxos. Oops. Blessed by the Sun for 2 of. Its toughness is equal to your devotion to white. Whenever another creature you control enters the battlefield or dies, you gain life. I kind of wasn't sure about putting this card in here. He still might get taken out, but he's a 2-drop, which is nice. So anytime a creature I control enters or leaves, basically dies, I'm gaining life. I'm going to gain life. It's not much, but it's a nice 2-drop creature, again, to kind of give me that mana curve. I don't care if I get anything on turn 1, but getting something at least by turn 3 down is really nice. But chances are I'm going to get this next creature, which is Nyx Fleece Ram. Please be... Okay, there it is. And these are all from the original set, which is Born of the Gods? Journey into Nyx. I was wrong. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain 1 life. So a playset of them, I think the most I've had out at any one time was 2. But it's a 0/5. It's not meant to attack. It's meant to basically just defend and sit there and give you passive life at the beginning of every turn. So like I said, the most I've ever had out were 2 at a time. So beginning of every turn, gain 2 life, and then triggers a few other things that I have. You know, Ajani's Pridemate. I gain life. Ajani Pridemate gets bigger. Play a sorcery, gain life. Ajani's Pridemate gets bigger. You know, tap Soul Mender. The whole point is to gain life, but also make Ajani's Pridemate and Sunscorch Regent bigger to basically trample over your enemy, which would be nice to throw maybe a splash of green in here. You could throw, Overrun, give your creatures +3/+3, and trample. That would work in this deck. I know there's some green cards that you could probably switch out in here to make it better, which I might do, because then I can have some more lands in here that when they come out, you gain 1 life. I know there's dual lands that when they come out, you gain 1 life, which would be nice. I would like that. Alright, next we have Ajani's Welcome, which is an enchantment. If it'll let me click on it, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. You might not always get that, because you might go a turn where you don't play a creature, but you have enough creatures in here that you're going to get enough work from it. And it's a 1-drop, so if it's in your starting hand, you can drop it right away and start getting benefit from it, and then you don't have to worry about it basically taking up your hand the rest of the game. So you get it, and you get it out. Okay, next, let's do the sorcery. We do have some artifacts, but we have 1 sorcery, Chaplain's Blessing, for a 2 of. What do? You just gain 5 life for 1 mana. That is good. So, before you end your turn, you can play that, and again, your stuff's gonna get bigger. Well, your Ajani's Pridemate will get bigger, and it'll trigger a few other things. Okay, we have all Hamret's Archive for a 1 of. I do have another one of these that I want to put in this deck. And I do have, a couple 3 ofs that I can get rid of. This isn't the best card, but it's nice to have because if you gain life, you gain twice that much life instead. So instead of gaining 5 life, you gain 10 life. If you would draw a card except the first one, you draw in each of your draw steps, draw 2 cards instead. So I get to draw an additional card too on top of everything, which would be nice because there's been a few times where I found myself trying to top deck in this, and because like there is a good bit of like lower mana cost stuff, and once it gets going, you're gonna find your hand empty. So having that out and being able to draw 2 cards and at least holding one is very nice. Okay, so next we have Staff of the Sun Magus, right? Yep. For 2 of, and it is from M14, so let's change that real quick. And whenever you cast a white spell or a planes enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. Again, a more passive life gain. There's nothing wrong with that. That helps all of your other creatures. And the last one we have is Fountain of Renewal. And this is what I was thinking of at the beginning of the video. I thought it was a land, but it is not. Ooh, nah. See, I don't really care for that. It's a 0-drop, but you gotta pay 2 mana and tap it. Where this one is just, at the beginning of your upkeep, you gain 1 life. And if you need the card draw, you can tap and sacrifice it to draw a card. These are both from M19. So, there's that. This is the life gain deck, so we can save this. And we can go look at everything here. 24 creatures, 2 sorceries, 7 instants, 2 enchantments, 5 artifacts, and 20 lands. I'd maybe throw 2 more lands in here for something. Maybe some of your weaker creatures. Maybe put Alhammarret's Archive in your sideboard. And maybe get rid of a Congregate. Maybe a Meeslix Ram. You might not need a playset of them. There's the details for this. I wonder what the most expensive card is. Ajani's Welcome's like $1 something a piece. Feldar Sovereign, okay, 2 something, like 220 something a piece, and it's a $24 deck. Well, technically like a $22 deck because of the lands. So that's pretty cheap. Visual spoilers again. And we can go to the starting hand real quick and just check. That's actually pretty good. There you go. Ajani's Welcome. Planes. Add another card. Planes. Add another. Radiant Fountain. There you go. You got 2 life. You're going to get your mana drop. So you're definitely going to hit your mana curve. There's Serf of the Dawn. I don't know if you've taken any damage at this point. Probably. Nobody might not realize the kind of deck you have, although Ajani's Welcome's definitely going to be a giveaway. Definitely get Sunscorch Regent out as quickly as possible. By the turn comes around, he's going to be a little bigger, probably at least by 1. So you can swing out. Turn 5, having a 5/4 beater, I would definitely swing in with Seraph of the Dawn. You're going to gain a little life, and cast this, you're going to gain more life. Then Alhammarret's Archive, definitely. So we're going to draw 2 cards now, and we're going to gain double the life if we do anything. So play both of these, swing in. If you still have Seraph of the Dawn, you're going to gain life. When this enters the battlefield, that's another trigger, so you're going to gain 2 life now. You're going to gain 4 life because of that. So it's going to get a little ridiculous. Fountain of Renewal, there you go. Like you have like no cards in hand at this point. Oh, we get to draw another card too. There's another Sunscorch Regent. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you might as well play them. You're going to gain life again. At this point, if you haven't beat your opponent to near death, then I don't know what you're waiting on, because you have card advantage. Like it's not even turn 14. You've been drawing 2 cards for the past like 4 turns. You're gaining double the life. You're basically just waiting for Feldar Sovereign if you haven't beaten them to death at this point, because you're drawing at least one thing that's gaining you life now every turn. Plus, you have 2 Sunscorch Regents out. They got to find an answer for both of them. that are probably at least 10 plus power right now. Like, and you just keep getting more things. You have no cards in hand now, but, like, you have all the mana you need. You have everything you need out. Like, it's just a matter of getting... there's all your Sunscorched Regents, and there's one Ajani Pridemate, finally. Yeah, like, at this point, I feel like the game would be so out of reach for your opponent for how much life you've just gained. Because it's not even turn 30. We're probably on, like, turn 20, actually. Maybe not even. And if you haven't beaten face with Sunscorched Regent yet, because there's no way they'd be able to keep anything on the field if you keep swinging with Sunscorched Regent. You're just going to be killing their thing. It's either going to get to the point where they're not going to play nothing because they're just going to make it bigger, or they're going to throw stuff down just to save face. And then, even then, if they block your Sunscorched Regent, you're going to have, like, there's 3 getting through. I mean, there's a little bit here. Plus, you have this thing out, which is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger the more life you gain. So, like, chances are you probably definitely have way more than 40 life right now. And, like, there's one finally. Yeah, so, I mean, there's that. You should have probably beat face a while ago. It probably should have ended a while ago. And there's the probabilities, and we will let it go there. So if you guys could please like, subscribe, share, hit that bell icon. That way you get notified every time I upload a new video. You can follow me over on Facebook and Twitter. The links to those are in the description. And with that, I'll see you guys on the next one.